What up, cuts? It's your boy, the hater. I decided to shadow drop a video right about now whenever you're seeing this. Now, it's Hater Mania, so videos are at least once a day, but sometimes multiple times a day. And this video is a continuation of my last video, which was about Cody Rhodes being completely emasculated and cuckolded. Now, I want to make another point that I didn't make in that video. Well, several other points, but the main one is this. The importance of character can never be understated. I have been saying this for years now, and I will say it again for those of you that didn't get it the first time, with this example as the prime example of why character is important. Cody Rhodes, despite the fact that he's presented as this confident guy with charm and charisma that he doesn't really have, at the end of the day, the character is still a meek guy trying to get something he thinks he deserves, right? He presented it as his destiny. That's the whole finish the story thing. But the problem is the character around Cody Rhodes does not support conviction, masculinity, and power. And this is important because if your character is feminine and weak, right, and pathetic and meek and mealy-mouthed, he will, and this is a great example of it, he will be presented as someone who embodies those qualities. Case in point, let's envision 2002. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake, wins the Royal Rumble, and he's going to go and fight. I think he thinks it's going to be Kurt Angle, but it quickly turns out it's going to be The Rock, right? Now, in this, you have two legitimate alpha male types. Now, not necessarily saying that The Rock couldn't beat up Stone Cold or Stone Cold couldn't beat up The Rock. And hell, maybe even Cody Rhodes would beat up Stone Cold. Who knows? I doubt it, but who knows, right? It's not about that. It's about the way the characters were presented, right? Now I ask you, this is why I bring up Stone Cold, I ask you, do you see any scenario where Stone Cold goes out to the ring and he wouldn't have the choice of picking which champion because there was only one champion at the time, right? But he's about to confront The Rock and start their program. And he says, you know what, Rock? I'm going to postpone this moment. Instead, Hulk Hogan is coming back to wrestle you for that title, right? That would have been huge, right? Matter of fact, it was huge when The Rock and Hulk Hogan wrestled the year after, right? But it doesn't matter because the character of Stone Cold just wouldn't do this, right? On the same side of the coin, the character of The Rock, unlike Roman Reigns, wouldn't tolerate this, right? The Rock would say, I want to fight the best guy, and the best guy is determined by whoever wins the Royal Rumble, right? Roman Reigns, believe it or not, is higher up than The Rock in terms of booking and on the card, right? So Roman Reigns has nothing to prove. He already beat Cody Rhodes. He's beaten everyone, right? Except for The Rock. So he should be embracing that, right? Or at least accepting it. But Cody Rhodes, because he's presented basically, like I've been saying, like a pussy, right? He will let the person go ahead of him. There was a promo, I was reading an article and they mentioned a promo, and I remember it vaguely, where Arn Anderson in AEW basically said this exact same thing about Cody Rhodes. He said that if you get carjacked, you're the type of guy that lets the guy take your car and say, please don't hurt me, just take the car, right? This was that, but in terms of WrestleMania opportunities, right? Now, I can't help but feel bad for Cody Rhodes, the man, right? Not the character, but the man, because, you know, he thought he was going to main event WrestleMania again, and it didn't pan out, right? I feel bad for CM Punk, too. You know, I wouldn't want anybody to get injured, right? But the truth is, if you present your character the way that Cody Rhodes has presented his character, and the way that his character has always been presented, as a guy who makes sacrifices, as a guy who cries a lot, right? It is perfectly reasonable for the company then to say, okay, well, this character cries a lot, he's very emotional, so maybe it is consistent with the character to do something emotional, like give up his opportunity. Something only a moron would do if wrestling were a real sport. Imagine if Pat Mahomes says, you know what, I got news that Tom Brady wants one more crack at the Super Bowl, right? And for that reason, I am resigning as the quarterback of Kansas City so Tom Brady can take my spot for one game. Hell no, he wouldn't do that, right? And even if he did, that would be foolish and it would be laughed at. So, likewise, Cody Rhodes deserves to be laughed at as well. Now, again, we have to separate the character from the man. I feel bad for Cody Rhodes. The article that I read that reminded me of the Arn Anderson promo, or maybe it was another, I think it was another article which was much less well written. It said like Cody Rhodes should have stood his ground. Like, this is not a real thing, all right? So Cody Rhodes doesn't have the ability to say, no, I'm not giving my title shot to The Rock. No, I earned it, right? That's another word that you keep seeing pop up a lot. Oh, The Rock stole what Cody earned. No. Cody didn't earn anything. It was given to him the same was given to The Rock, right? Cody Rhodes performed in a match where the match is choreographed and the match tells us that this is the character that they're choosing and the character that has therefore earned it, right? But he didn't actually earn anything. So he has no positionality, right? He has no position even to just go to the higher ups, Triple H in this case, right? And say, look, Hunter, I'm sure he calls him, Hunter, this isn't fair. Triple H is going to say, look, man, I get it, you want it to main event, it's just not going to happen. The Rock is going to main event, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. At best, you can go to AEW, right? That's what you can do. So that's it, right? It's over. The Rock came back and he took Cody Rhodes' spot. Some of the articles are saying that The Rock pushed for this match and they're condemning this as if The Rock has any loyalties towards Cody Rhodes' storyline, right? The Rock wants to make money, and now that he's a shareholder of TKO and a member of the board, he wants the company to do well, right? And the best way to do this is to supplement WrestleMania, to save WrestleMania, if you will, especially after the Vince McMahon scandal and the removal of Brock Lesnar, by injecting it with the people's champion, The Rock. Now, I understand people get pissed off that part-timers are taking the job of a quote-unquote full-timer, even though I believe I've seen Akira Tozawa more on TV than Cody Rhodes, at least in wrestling roles. Cody Rhodes is considered a full-timer, and he's considered the top babyface. I don't know why. He doesn't even act like a babyface. Like, he just complains a lot and he just cries a lot, but that's not here nor there. The Rock, the charisma, and the electricity flowing through the arena speaks for itself. Now, a lot of the articles that I read are going to say things like, well, the video on WWE's YouTube channel has like 15,000 likes and like 400,000 dislikes or whatever, right? As if that is some sort of metric of what people actually want to see. Absolutely, it is not, right? These are just angry fans that went there with this mentality and did dislike. The vast majority, like Raw draws several million viewers, 300,000 dislikes. It's a safe bet to say that the majority of the people that are watching that didn't go to video probably like what happened, right? Because fundamentally, the problems with Cody Rhodes have not been addressed, right? And it is an opportunity that they could and did take away from him, right? Because there is an opportunity here, an opportunity to perform in the main event and, solidify yourself as a all-time great, if you will, but by becoming the champion, right? Now, I think that coupled with the reality that Cody Rhodes never drew a dime leads to the logical conclusion that The Rock must be brought in, right? So this idea that Cody Rhodes earned, his WrestleMania main event and CM Punk earned his WrestleMania main event and The Rock stole it from both of them is ridiculous. There's no earning in this sport, or in sports entertainment. There is no earning it, right? I mean, there is. You earn it by being a draw, right? And The Rock is a bigger draw than CM Punk and Cody Rhodes combined times 1,000. So it's axiomatic, that The Rock is going to be taking that spot, right? And it makes a lot of sense. People are like, oh, it could have been last year. It could have been. A lot of things could have happened, right? But they didn't, and that's what matters. And the point is, we want to see Roman Reigns versus The Rock. From the beginning of the signing and push of Roman Reigns, people have been wanting this match. Now, the truth is, this is a big match. If we're being honest, it's one of the biggest matches in wrestling history, right? And it has to happen at WrestleMania, and it has to happen at WrestleMania 40, right? If it can. Now, Cody Rhodes can do whatever the hell he wants, but as far as I'm concerned, the finisher storyline, angle is finished, right? Because the fundamental conclusion to this is as follows, right? If Cody Rhodes himself does not care about winning the title, at least in kayfabe, right? If Cody Rhodes is going to prostitute his title shot away, meaning that he doesn't care enough, right? He does all this. He wants to finish the story. This has been, quote unquote, 2 years in the making. And then he hands it over to The Rock without fighting or something like that, right? That puts us in a weird conundrum because fundamentally it comes down to this. If Cody Rhodes doesn't care, why in the hell Why in the blue hell should I care? Why should you care, right? Why should you care if Cody Rhodes ever becomes WWE champion when he has the ultimate opportunity to do so, right? And chooses, in kayfabe, to give it to The Rock, because obviously in the real world, he had no choice. They told him, look, it's going to go down like this, the end. You know what I'm saying? We make the rules. That's why wrestling is successful. It's because there is no actual, unpredictability, right? That's what makes wrestling better in many ways than boxing, UFC, or any other sport, really. In many ways, it's not in many ways, it's definitely a better storytelling medium than actual sports, right? Because you get to control the outcome, right? And also the match. So you can have a match that's 35 minutes and it's an awesome match, let's say, right? And, in a Super Bowl, you can have a blowout, like a 35-3 blowout, and it's not a good game, right? So that's what makes wrestling unique, and that's what makes Cody dispensable, right? And replaceable with someone better than him. Someone that is a better wrestler. Now, people are like, oh, can The Rock do a long match? Doesn't have to. It can be a 10-minute match. I don't give a damn, right? The point is the presence of The Rock and Roman Reigns. The match is going to start with people like booing The Rock and maybe cheering Roman Reigns. I mean, who knows how that's going to play out, right? But it's going to start with both of them circling the ring and just listening to the fans, right? And then The Rock is going to have to win them over, which he can do, right? The whole Cody Rhodes angle, in my opinion, is not very, very interesting. Like, nobody really cares that much about it, and that's why it was removed, right? Don't forget what you read on Reddit and on Twitter and on YouTube. That's the hardcore fans that that love Cody Rhodes in more ways than one. But the truth is, real wrestling fans would much rather prefer The Rock and Roman versus Cody and really anybody else. Now, I will say this, when I say real wrestling fans, that's a misnomer, because everyone that likes wrestling is a wrestling fan. There's no real or fake. But I guess what I mean is traditional wrestling fans. The people that really understand that wrestling is not about what happens in the ring, it's what happens outside of it. And outside of it, The Rock has made a career, obviously within WWF and WWE, and also beyond that, it goes without saying. So he is the correct choice. Now, Cody Rhodes does not come out looking good after this, right? And this is another point that I think needs to be made. I already made it, but to elaborate on it, I'm going to say this. Cody Rhodes, where does he go from here, right? I kind of mentioned this in the last video as well. Where does he go from here? And the answer is, I don't know. If it were up to me, if I was booking, I would give Seth Rollins his win back, right? And then Cody Rhodes just leaves WrestleMania completely defeated. He comes out on Raw, and he cuts a promo saying how, like, his dream is over, right? And that's it. The fans say, thank you, Cody, because you can condition the fans to say exactly what you need them to say, right? Like, he'll say thank you, and they'll say, thank you, Cody, right? This is probably what's going to happen on the Raw after WrestleMania, right? Maybe this might even end the show, right? And then in the end, you figure something out where Cody Rhodes finds the magic again, and he does become WWE champion, maybe after Roman Reigns breaks Hulk Hogan's title. And, that's going to be a great moment. It's going to be a wonderful moment if they do it right, like a moment that even I would mark out for, right? Because there's nothing better than seeing someone fall and get up, even if someone you don't like, right? And that's the problem. Just like I said at the last WrestleMania, right? After Roman Reigns beat Cody and Cody failed to finish his story, I said to myself and to you guys, what should happen is this. Cody Rhodes comes out and he gets squashed by, like, I don't know, Angelo Dawkins. It doesn't matter, right? You do a storyline where Cody Rhodes just loses several matches, and then you slowly start building him up, right? He finds his mojo. Maybe he, gets a different haircut. I don't know. He has a change in attitude, right? And this leads to him winning match after match after match after match consistently on TV and pay-per-views, which culminates with him winning. In my opinion, he could win the Elimination Chamber, and CM Punk could have won the Royal Rumble, or however they're going to plan it, right? The point is, if the hero doesn't fall, right? If the hero doesn't fall, the hero cannot rise. And if the hero rises too much, the hero then definitely cannot give his accomplishment to The Rock, right? And that's the problem. So now, Cody Rhodes is not done, right? Now, I don't foresee him winning the Royal Rumble next year, because that's just too much. That's just absurd, right? Nobody's won 3 times except for Stone Cold, who would never let this happen to his character, right? But Cody Rhodes can find a way to the other main event of WrestleMania. He can wrestle Roman Reigns if Roman Reigns has a title till then. Or it can happen before WrestleMania. He can win like a tournament or something. I don't know, right? And he can take the title from Roman Reigns. Maybe at a super show, at like a Saudi Arabia show or something. He can take the title from Roman Reigns and have his moment one way or another. but it won't be at WrestleMania. And even if it is, it won't have the same gravitas after this Friday than it would have had before this Friday. Because after this Friday, as far as I'm concerned, the whole character of Cody Rhodes needs a dramatic overhaul, right? He needs to be buried immediately and then eventually, rise up like a phoenix, right? Because it's inconsistent with his character to give up his opportunity that he worked hard for, and that his, in kayfabe, it's his dad and Goldust also worked hard for it. The family has made sacrifices for it. He started a company to get the push that he deserves, quote unquote deserves, right? But the truth is this: if you give up your opportunity, you are going to lose the support of the people, right? But not necessarily. And this is where it all could turn around. I could see a scenario where if the booking is correct, that even I start cheering for Cody. Even me, that's right, cucks, the one who calls him Cucky Rhodes, the one who has talked shit about Cody Rhodes for years now, right? Even I can be brought on board if this is done correctly, right? Because fundamentally, an injustice has happened here, right? Like an injustice in the sense that Cody Rhodes expected to main event WrestleMania, and The Rock took it from him. Now, it's an injustice from the perspective of Cody Rhodes. For me, it's exactly what I want to see. But it is an injustice. Someone did get rammed, right? And if they lean hard on this, right, then it could go well. But they really cannot lean hard on it because Cody Rhodes wasn't screwed out of his title, right? The Rock should have fought this as a heel. I don't know what to tell you, right? Like The Rock should have screwed Cody Rhodes out of the title. Instead, because Cody Rhodes must be this idiot and a hero, he gives his opportunity, right? So the next 3-4 months of Cody Rhodes' booking after WrestleMania, in my opinion, Seth Rollins beats him. And the next 3-4 months need to be immediately. They need to be people just mocking Cody Rhodes for, kayfabe-wise at least, doing exactly what he wasn't supposed to do. Like, if CM Punk has nothing to say about this, you know what I mean? That's just stupid, right? CM Punk should come out and should just straight up be like, look, this man gave up his shot, right? CM Punk, when The Rock beat him at the Rumble, it started out all friendly, right? And CM Punk turned on The Rock, remember? He turned on The Rock and he gave him the GTS so as to say, no, you don't take my spot. You know what I mean? I'm the champion here, right? And then The Rock obviously laid the smack F down on CM Punk's candy ass, and we all know how that went, right? It led to CM Punk leaving the company for 10 years. So he buried him so bad that CM Punk had to leave. So if that's not what's going to happen to Cody, he needs to figure something out, right? And unfortunately for Cody, as far as I'm concerned, the storyline ends here, right? The story finishes here. I could give a damn what Cody Rhodes does, and I think I speak for a lot of people, unless he is rebooked into something slightly better, right? Something that makes more sense. And if that's not happening, then so be it. Then it's over. You know what I mean? And with that being said, cucks, get shadow dropped and get replaced by The Rock like Cucky Rhodes, motherfuckers.